now we can
Jennifer.
see you as well, Jennifer. And hi, Kelly.
She's got her cauldron ready, I can see. Kelly had some amazing altars, which she did this week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Jennifer does lots of altars, and so does Erica. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all here to bring some magic into the world. And Kelly, where are you calling from? I don't know you yet.
Huntington Beach, California, on the West Coast.
Oh.
West Coast of the United States. Thank you.
And you, I can't remember where you are from, Jennifer.
I'm currently in Missouri.
Right, so you're on the east side, aren't you?
Middle, right in the middle, in the heart of the country.
The heartland.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, the city I live in is called the Crossroads. So that's pretty.
Wow.
It's interesting.
That's certainly interesting.
Yeah.
The crossroads of all. Yeah.
Well, I've got I've been telling a wise story. It's called exactly like that, At the Crossroads, and it's about the wisdom of life. Being at the crossroads.
Yeah.
The quintessence of the story was like when we make a full committed choice and stay on the path, then all paths lead to the ocean. Like this dream of this woman was to reach the ocean. And the quintessence was that she didn't stay on her path and she was always diverting, didn't know what to do there. And then she tried there. She never reached the ocean. And only at the top of a mountain, she looks down and all the different directions would have led her to the ocean, which she would have stayed on one path.
Yeah. It's a really good message, isn't it? About staying on your path.
That really resonates with me in ways you don't even know. I love it. Thanks for that story. That was beautiful.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, okay. I would like to open then our nice little container like we always do with lighting a candle. And you did as well earlier, Kelly. So we continue with this beautiful, with this beautiful, to say it, gesture, ceremony, ritual. So with this light, are there somebody else trying to come in? So I'll just let her in. And with this light,
yes, Sarah, yeah.
May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May all beings remain free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings remain connected to sacred joy and happiness that is totally free from sorrow. May all beings come to rest in feeling of security and peace. May all beings be happy, content, and fulfilled. And so it is. And last time I had the cedar nut oil. Today I felt like having frankincense.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
To anoint us and everybody around the world at this critical time of the US elections today. And we want to weave light in our highest vibrations into the world. So I anoint us here for our intuitive, all-seeing eye. And I think around the truth today, to speak our truth. May all beings speak their truth. and around the heart for love, for peace and love. And around our womb. May all our intentions today be woven into this new tapestry based on light and love.
Okay. Interesting.
And Kelly, you've already shown us a card you brought with you today. It was not
Yes.
recording earlier. Would you show us again what it was?
This is from the Mother Mary Oracle. And this is Our Lady of the Sacred Sun.
Hi, Sarah.
Beautiful. And we've had lots of Mother Marys in our master classes, so this is really absolutely important that you have that. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, she's got, there's 44 cards in the deck.
And it was basically about bringing in the masculine, the sacred masculine as well. She's birthing the sacred sun and the divine masculine, which I think,
Yeah.
yeah, so fitting as well.
Yeah, and I like that she talks about Our Lady of the Sacred Sun speaks to us of a healed masculine consciousness of the Christ awakening in men and women becomes possible through the love and power of the divine feminine awakened. So after we have the divine feminine awakened, then it goes to the masculine. And actually, I do some work with a Native American group. So they start in the East with the active masculine going to the passive feminine in the West, going down to the South, which is the active feminine to the inactive male. So they have their, just interesting, the flow of energy from active to passive and active to passive.
Mm. And you had a squirrel that that was busy telling us what we needed to do.
Yeah.
on your front porch. Well, interesting that you got that, and I pulled out this one, which is the. I'll put a picture in the thing, but it's actually the Lovers.
Oh.
So the Alchemy of the Lovers, and it's from the book The Splendor of Solace. So it's about so this book's is basically the golden sun, which is the son or daughter, which is of the creation of the mother father. So as you have energy that comes from heaven and the energy up from earth, they come together to form you. So in perfect creation to you. So that's what the journey of that son, mother, daughter is, that aspect. And the Lovers, which I think, if you know in the tarot, is really about this communion of really bringing our thoughts down to be filtered through the heart. Mm-hmm. So it's not, so in the Lovers, in the traditional one, you have the man, they're both chained, and that's really about conflict. And what happens is it's normally because our thoughts are interfering with our ability to listen to our gut or our ability to listen to our womb. And so therefore it's really about paying attention to looking towards coming down into the consciousness of our womb and heart, so that we get to hear the truth of what is. So that's the story of the Lovers, and it's called, in this one, called The Golden King. So that's an interesting name for it.
Golden King. I have to think about the
Golden
sacred
King.
sun as well and the Golden King.
Yeah, and it makes that it's really interesting that we're pulling cards which are very much about the masculine. I'm finding that really interesting just in that coming up.
Yes. And since there are no coincidences, I would like to continue with pulling a card from the mystical shaman oracle card.
Ooh.
Let's see whether there's going to be another masculine card, divine masculine. Well,
It'll be interesting.
the ghost
What is
dance.
The ghost dance. What's
The
that mean?
ghost dance. It's about the wisdom of our ancestors. This card. I don't have a booklet, so I always interpret it from what comes to me naturally and organically at that moment of time. So it's about, I think it's very fitting for the Halloween and the All Souls Day, which came after.
Yeah.
Halloween is about the honoring of our ancestors, so that then no longer haunt us as ghosts, but support us, that we can leave behind what no longer serves us and bring in the new. So it's like in a very celebrative way, honoring our ancestors and taking the best, but no longer get stuck in the past, what no longer serves us. Yeah. And I can see that the moon as well. I think this is so fitting for the energy at the moment, and I can still feel this special blue moon still working on us. Yeah. And to continue with the goodies, I draw us a rune.
Yes, absolutely.
Cannot have enough from the goodies. We had this last time already. It's a Fehu again.
Ah, that's well for bringing in what we've
Lovely.
what we've earned, what we've put towards. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the standing for abundance, for wealth, prosperity. It's for the ox, standing for this ox, which yeah, to our ancestors was like a very holy animal. It brought something to eat, and yeah, supported the families in every way. So it brought the wealth through this animal and abundance. And from my side, last but not least, I would also like to draw you a card from my womb pouch of 27 self-stitched goddesses, Berigini goddesses. The nice message inside. Oh, the leader. This is the leader goddess. She stands for success.
Wow.
The affirmation is, I believe in a successful outcome of my situation. Can be used to begin something new and to realize a wish or a dream. The red color stands, yeah, for the energy from the present world, from the middle world. Very fitting for what
interesting card.
why we gathered today. Like
What's interesting? Yeah.
May good evolutionary leadership come out of all of this.
Aho.
Aho. And maybe you've got something, Jennifer or Sarah, to put in our cauldron of goodies.
Cauldron of goodies. Let me think.
Don't, it's fine. Yeah,
Huh?
we just decided we would all put something in, but this was off the cuff. So
I'll bring something in. I'll bring something.
energy flows where my attention goes.
There you go.
Yay! Exactly. And look at all those things there. They are triangles.
The webs.
Very nice.
Webbies, yes. Lovely. And what's that? Jennifer, what was that?
One is obsidian and the other is actually a smoky quartz that's just really, really dark. So very grounding and very protective.
Awesome.
And negates negative energy. That helpful?
Oh, yes, thank you. Very helpful.
And I'm going to bring my Merkaba. Yep. That's
See,
my Merkaba.
Rose quartz.
Rose quartz Merkaba. Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
Tetrahedron. Yeah.
Powerful, powerful. Speaking of weaving a new earth and a grid, the Merkaba connects us with all directions and dimensions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think Sarah has got something for us as well.
I do. I have a crystal skull made of amethyst.
Yeah.
It's a
Nice.
star being, so they may give us wisdom in this crazy human existence
beautiful.
that we have to live in,
Mm.
which matches with the color of my yarn.
Ah, excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation to join, Shreen.
Oh, pleasure. Pleasure. I just thought you might enjoy it. And it's
Yes, I do.
very informal, but you know, it was a snap thing that we were going to just do it today. We weren't going to do anything, and then we thought, I just really thought, really, we need to be doing something for the turmoil in the world. And
Mm.
Erica said, yes, that's my room. Yes, it's talking. So we just made a decision. Here we were.
Absolutely. And so fitting. Yeah, to
Yes.
weave the new, isn't it? Especially in this crossroads in between times. This is part of what
Yes.
we do with our weaving, sacred weaving, connecting with our own unique destiny threads, the golden threads, and feel into it where it might be needed. And I think in this time where everything is interconnected, it's also part of us, what we are weaving into this greater web. So I definitely had a whole body, yes, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It just
I-
came like a download. And I just think that we need to just have this focus. And even if it's only the 1% that do something, it'll be enough to shift a consciousness to some level. And I'm just, you know, my intention tonight is definitely to focus on the states because I really do feel that there's a lot of fear sitting and driving it. And it would be nice if there was just a sense of peace and people could think a little more rationally about choices that they may make.
Yep.
So,
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
pleasure.
From what I hear, like businesses are already like boarding up things out
Yeah, I
this.
saw that. I saw
So
that.
yeah,
That's what
it's crazy.
Yeah.
On a special note, I want to thank you ladies that for me, this day has a particular meaning, especially with like the stitching or weaving is 3 years ago today, I had the double mastectomy from
Oh, wow.
breast cancer. And, you know, I woke up with because I chose the reconstruction. So there were all these, you know, stitches. Still, I kind of joke and call them like Franken boobies for a while. So for me, this is very therapeutic because then I get to associate with stitching and, you know, the feminine body shape. And, you know, my my first surgeon was male, and he like botched it. So I had to find a new surgeon, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of helps with whatever, you know, sadness or resentment or blame that I might have for my surgeon, who was really just trying to do the best he could with what he knew. I can kind of like weave, you know, in love and stitch out the anger. So this is like, for me, this is as well as your intentions, because of what's happening here on a national level, a personal level. This is a gift. So I thank you, ladies, for doing this. It's so healing. Thank
for
you.
sharing.
Well, thank you for showing up and to receive the space of healing. And always starts with our own seed inside, our own light inside. If we cannot shine it from within, then I also don't think we can change anything from the outside. So thank you for being open to shine your light. Thank you.
And what was beautiful was to hear that one thing, which is saying, yes, he botched up, but you're in that space of healing and that space of just going, this is what it is, and I can still heal. I can still move beyond this. And I can do that very purposefully, stitching away. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. How beautiful it is to have those resources. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do the meditation?
Yeah, maybe we say a little bit like the connection with the Matryoshka dolls, because we have been like, we had 5 different master classes where we did meditations to meet our wealthy goddess and to receive her messages and symbols, and we started to embroider her in the Matryoshka. They're like Russian dolls. For me, they look like womb dolls, and I always like to, the symbols and messages which I receive, I like to embroider them and also put them like in the womb, like I read out earlier from my womb pouch. And in Russian tradition, like they carry all wisdom, and they go through different stages of life. They usually have got like the little dolls, and they're stacked like layers. And for me, it's like we ripen to our life and integrate more and more of our parts. And in that way, we constantly rebirth ourselves anew and own more and more of our wisdom. And that stand for me like for this womb with wisdom, where we can go anytime, we can connect with our womb wisdom. And from there, we can birth anything anew. And that's how we have been working. And today we had like this spontaneous intention, like let's stick with our ritual on Tuesday, meeting at the same time, combine it with a different meditation of reweaving the earth and including this uncertain times in America and whatever other intentions we want to birth and weave into this new world. And how amazing is that if we all do our own Matryoshka, but also come together and weave and a big Matryoshka who is birthing this new earth. That's why I like this image, which we put up today as well by Autumn Sky. There's the earth in the middle and all those hands who are weaving the world. And that's how I perceive the womb of this Matryoshka as well.
Yeah.
And it starts within ourselves, with our own womb membrane, with this, which is at the same time also connected to the whole world, the womb of all existence. And that's how powerful we are if we come together. And in that way, I perceive we really do our contribution to weave the new earth. So, that's the background to the Matryoshkas.
And it's really lovely because I haven't really thought about something, but with each Matryoshka, depending on whether you decide to do a small one, bigger one, larger, and I wonder how that would correlate with where we are in every movement. So what Matryoshka we would do, and how would that be? Oh, I'm growing into my new Matryoshka, so I know where I am on my journey. So that would be a really interesting aspect in our sacred journeys.
Yes. Beautiful. And I was thinking today to do this meditation. I learned from the shaman Sandra Ingerman. She's doing it since the year 2000. She's calling circles, usually every full moon, to come together and to weave a web of light. And I birthed my book this year on my birthday. It was a very magical day, the 4th of the 4th of the 4th, because 2020 is also 4. So here we go, 44 cards, Kelly, 444. There was a major global meditation. And I did also this meditation to birth my book, which is called The Weirding Way. And weirding is also weaving, based on the knowledge of the three Nones who sit at the World Tree Yggdrasil and weave, as the mythology says, all timelines around the world. So they're very powerful giantesses, and everything what we see in the universe is woven by the Nones. And when we can connect to this wisdom, the well of wisdom, we can also weave.
Yeah.
And there's one quote before the meditation by Sandra Ingerman. Ade Severin, she's coming just at the right time. She did say she's going to join us around 9:30. Yeah. So this is a quote by Sandra Ingerman. Imagine, before you were born, you were just a little spark of light connected to the creative force of the universe. Hi, Severin. You looked down on this great earth. What a beautiful planet, filled with wondrous life forms. You started to ponder the possibilities of life on earth. Reader, do you remember the preciousness of life, and that all life was created to experience love, light, joy, harmony, peace, equality, and abundance for all? If you can feel this in your bones, then you know it is true. If you cannot, do not despair, for I will help you to remember. We are a community of people who can gather our spiritual lights and energies together to remember and to create a wondrous life for all living beings. We must remember our vision and then focus on it and hold the vision together. This is how we thrive together in changing and challenging times. So this is an excerpt from How to Thrive in Changing Times by her, Sandra Ingerman. Yes, and I think this is why we gathered here together. To weave, to remember that we are all those sparks of light, bringing the heaven on earth. And if we shall forget, then we're here to remember each other. Yeah, so I think if nobody wants to share something, I would like to do this meditation. And you come just at the right timing, Severin.
Yeah, I was translating a woman from Vienna, with what was going on planet Earth and not going into drama. That was very interesting.
Oh, so that's again very related to the gathering today.
Yeah.
Erica, I've just got someone who wants to come in.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give her a link. Maybe you could just let her in.
Yeah, should we just wait for her to come in first before we start?
All right, I'll see if, well, I just got a message now, so. What I'll do is I'll just tell her to come in I'll tell her to come in quietly, just mute herself the moment she comes in.
Should I then start, you think, or should we wait for her?
Yeah, I think we can start. I think we should start if you're able to still keep.
Yeah, so I like to do like this quote by Sandra Ingerman. She's speaking about this remembering our light. And I think it's a good timing today in light of the elections and in general to weave light into this web of life. And for that, I'd like to invite you to just close your eyes if you like, or if you like, you can also lie down, whatever is most comfortable for you, to come into a relaxed state. And just with a few deep breaths, just center ourselves in the here and now. Feel wherever you lie down, where you sit down. Feel your feet on the ground. Or maybe if you lie down, how your back is touching the surface. And if there are any thoughts, just let them pass by like clouds in the sky. And with the next breath, center yourself around your womb and set the intention there in your center. Set the intention to feel your light like a seed that has been planted, like a golden seed. And really give yourself the intention to feel the seed of light and to fill all the cells of your body with this light. And with the next breath, feel like it's the sun coming and shining on your soul seed inside of yourself. And feel like with this sunlight, like your seed is opening up like a flower. And like this flower is building roots and starting to grow and opening up petals. And it's all through this light of the sun, which is breathing in and absorbing into the earth. And really feel how this light can spread in the roots, through the whole root system in the earth. And how this beautiful flower that you are is shining and it's in her glory. And it's as within as without, as below as above. And imagine all other people are like flowers all around us. And who similarly to the sunlight, all shining their light, and are also connected in the earth with all the roots. And imagine how we are all like the flower of life, like this grid, which is made up of all those different seeds, how all open and shining and forever unfolding all around the world. And feel like it's all from the seed, which you also carry inside of you. From the small seed, we are shining and spreading all our lights, like this flower of life. And we can take our brothers and sisters, like from America today, after the elections, where there's a lot of uncertainty and maybe some dark places, energies. We can bring them into this flower of life which is of such high vibration that it weaves through all those energies. And we can reweave whatever needs fixing. We can reweave it into this grid of the flower of life. And whenever you like, you can put it in this grid right now. Whatever you feel would wants to be reweaved in this web of life, of light. And really feel like a flower which simply just is open to receive the light. It's the same with us right at this moment. Whatever we put in this field, the light just can shine on it. And automatically weaves it into this web of light. And remember your intention from the very beginning. Concentrating on your soul seed. From the center, we are always connected, like this flower of life. And with the next breath, take this light and send it into the whole world and also in the earth underneath. And let it spread limitless to every corner around the world. And really feel like it's also like a candle which we lighted at the beginning. So one candle can light limitless candles around the world. And with this image of this web of light all around the world, let us come slowly back in to the seat in our wombs. And how this web is also inside of us. It's like our inner light, our soul seed. That's always here. And just really take this light now with you. And come back slowly by wiggling your toes or stretching yourself if you like. And give yourself a hug before you slowly open your eyes. Yeah, and feel present in the here and now. Oh, there's somebody coming, wanting to come in.
Hi.
Hi, Urja.
Hi.
We literally
I
just
sent a message. Oh, you are in the meditation?
we just finished now. That's why I was just able to let you in right now. But we just finished.
Oh, okay. Did you read my message that I was in my car and then I realized you do a meeting tonight? Oh, right.
No, I didn't read it because we probably were already in the meeting.
Yeah, it was
the
9 o'clock,
masterclass.
but I was in my car. But I said maybe I look later. But if it is a little bit disturbing, then I can also go out. Come next time.
Well, today we did it differently. We did a weaving web of light for the US election and for light, sending the light like a web of light around the world.
Oh, maybe
That's
I felt it because I felt, oh, it's nearly 10 o'clock. Let I just try to come in or just to say hello. But yesterday I connected you to record, to look for the recording from last week. You remember I sent a message?
Yes, I received it, yes.
And then I said it's a pity that we, for me it was completed like, okay, ciao, see you later. Maybe in a master class or I do it in a German version. But I'm also doing my own thing. But today I saw, oh, you have again a new cycle. Well, anyway, it was just nice to connect. But what shall I do?
It was a very spontaneous thing because today is the election day, and it was very spontaneous. We connected today in the afternoon and said, yes, okay, we are not going to do the program,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but let's do something for the world, and that's how it
Yeah.
came.
Oh,
Really
yeah. I received,
spontaneously.
yeah. But I saw it about 8 o'clock and I was still in the car. I saw, well, okay, there is something on the earth happening. It's for the earth. The message, the announcement. Well, it was a kind of invitation. But anyway, I missed the meditation and everybody is very quiet and I'm talking. But what can I
At the
do?
moment,
Shall I go out?
Well, I
at
think
the
we want to
moment,
get
everybody is frozen for me as well. Are you still all here? Now I can see
Frozen.
you,
Still here.
Shireen.
I'm here.
I'm here.
Everybody was
Oh.
frozen on my part at the moment, so just checking.
Oh, because you let me in, everybody got frozen. Anyway, nice to see you all back. Anyway, I see you and Shireen and Jennifer.
And
Where are
Severin.
you?
Yeah.
But I really didn't expect to do it. But that was also what I felt yesterday. Oh, I go and watch the recording because it's not going to happen tomorrow. And you didn't say, yes, it's going to happen. But then I see the message. Okay.
Well, that's why I said it was not planned. It was a very
Spontaneously. Yeah, I
spontaneous thing.
understand. I'm also spontaneously jumping in now.
Yes.
If it fits, but if it don't fit, then I do it next time. But I tried to see the other pictures, but it didn't happen. Oh yeah, anyway, just oh yeah. So Jennifer. Oh, and Serene from France. Oh, nice to see you all. Yeah, we are kind of connected.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We
but
have
you have maybe a
some more people
program.
today.
I like to join. I like to join.
Well, you can join if you feel like you would like to stay present, even if you didn't participate in the meditation. You can
Yeah,
stay.
but I felt it. I think I felt it. Otherwise, I wasn't here. I felt, oh, I'm home. Better home than in the car or in the world. With all these fears from people. Okay. Only my hair is not really organized.
That's okay. It's been
That-
hair
Yeah, I
raising.
think it's okay.
I'm just here, like I cannot see anybody. It's like for me, everybody's frozen.
Right, well, we
Oh,
can hear you. Can you hear us, Erica?
I can hear you, but I cannot see
Okay.
anybody.
Oh,
It's frozen. I see only frozen pictures.
like pictures.
Ah, now
right.
now when you're moving, I can see you, Shireen. I can see a little
All
bit
right.
of Urja when she is moving, but
Oh,
the
good. Yeah.
others are frozen for me.
Oh, maybe it's their
All the American
connection.
people.
All the Americans are frozen.
No, Severine from France is also frozen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's the climate change. You know, the earth is freezing right now.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't
Must
know.
have been the meditation is so powerful that it's just like makes the technology stop.
Yeah. So there was no goddess. Was there no goddess today?
No, today we did a weaving a web of light meditation.
Oh yeah, the weaving the web of light. So no goddess this appeared for anybody.
No,
There was no goddess.
no, not today.
Not today.
Okay.
Today we went to look at a different intention, and I
What?
think we're gonna continue with that intention, which is really about looking a little deeper into what's our desire and our intention for what it is that we want to create in the future.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think that's where we'd like to take the next
Yeah.
bit further,
Good.
to just really connect as we start to weave. Maybe just really start with the idea of just
Weaving
looking at what's our
matryoshkas.
greatest desire.
I would like to know how everybody experienced the meditation.
Yeah.
This come up for everybody.
I unmute. I gonna listen. Otherwise, I make so much noise.
I left. I was like out. I don't know. Sometimes I was hearing you, sometimes I wasn't hearing you. So I was far away, like far away. I don't know if the earth was really interesting to me right at that moment, like the world. It was just, okay, I'm out. I'm gonna hang out with the earth, like the true earth, you know, the one that is truly the earth, not the illusion of it.
Mhm.
That was nice, but I wasn't hearing you so much. But it was very, very inside,
Mm.
deep inside.
You couldn't hear me acoustically? Was that because of that?
No, it was. I recognize the diff. I make the difference when I'm really going far, far, far. It's very deep inside and far from the madness of everything. I can lose your voice, but I'm sure you were perfectly audible. It's just me.
Was there anything in particular you felt, experienced when you were like just for yourself in your own world?
Silence.
Mm.
When there's silence, there's every choices.
Mm.
No one is bothering. No little voices that are starting to tell you, do this, do that, and remember this, and you remember when you did that, and blah, blah. No. Just silence.
Mm. Beautiful silence. Mm.
I got some.
What did you get?
There was like a giant, like the whole scheme was like a reemergence. And there were two flowers actually that came. Saffron's been coming in for me. I used it with cooking, and then the yellow lily.
Oh, nice.
So I gotta look that up. But it was interesting because of, you know, like the sun, and it was like the sun rays, you know, that they are like a crown in of itself. And the first place it touches us is on our head, like a crown chakra, and it draws attention, you know, upward into that space. So energy goes up to the crown, as well as the energy, like literally from the sun, is coming down in. It's like this union. And so it had to do with about revealing and perspectives, and how the crown, like if you it was interesting because then it said, like, if you look at a crown from a certain angle, it looks like an eye with lashes.
Mm.
So that was kind of interesting. But there's the feminine. This was interesting about the emergence and of this new earth. It's like the feminine on feminine wound, that women really do a lot of hurting with each other, and that's represented in the environment. So for really us to connect in this new earth, this new emergence, women have to understand our interconnection and our interdependence with each other and with Mother Earth.
Mm.
So that was, and then I saw this like interesting face, and it looked like a Picasso drawing, but with like Monet colors that I noticed like real quick. There was no black at all. It was just all colors, which was interesting. So yeah. Yep. That's it.
Well, that's a lot.
Yeah, it was wicked fast. Like I was in and out as well. Like I could hear the voice and not hear the voice, and like the image just got sucked right up into the imagery, and then I was present with the imagery, and then like the voice would come back in, and it was like a, you know, hard editing of a movie, click, click, click. So that was really interesting. But everything was super fast, where the goddess was like open and revealing and flowy. This was like kind of very masculine, click, 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 and super fast. So that was interesting. Thank you.
We had quite a lot of masculine energy, divine masculine energy coming with us today.
Yeah.
At the beginning. So that's different too.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel a difference. That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Is there anything which calls you forth to embroider or to manifest it in some way of creative expression?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking it. The perspective with the crown as the eye really does intrigue me, not only because I never thought of it that way before, but also like whenever there's like a all-seeing eye, you know, I think of the third eye. So it's interesting that it's like a crown that has vision. So that was kind of interesting. That's a great question.
Well, I'm curious how it's going to develop with this eye. What is going to emerge for you, how you want to express it. Maybe you want to embroider it as well on your matryoshka and then see what happens.
I'm starting that right now.
Oh, really?
I don't have a gold thread. Yeah, I'm tied up. I don't have gold, but
you don't need to have a gold. Just use that what's there at the moment.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Kelly, did anything come up for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know, a couple things.
Just a few.
just a few. I really enjoyed the flower of life, and then it was just kind of like when Erica was talking about blanketing the world, it's like I could kind of like literally see like that seam and that line starting from me and then like moving over, and I was trying to kind of go like both sides of the world at once, and it's like no, just work. So it was interesting because it was more in and I want to say a clockwise rotation,
right?
Because it was going back over the East Coast rather than going to the West, and moving first and then coming down and making sure it covered the poles. And then it's like the fabric that it was kind of gave way to the gossamer web. And I could feel a lot of the fear of people. And just there's a lot of things that it seems like there's a lot of people are trying to hold on to, and that they're scared. And this is maybe not the best analogy, but for example, with being a lesbian or being a homosexual, and it's like, no one's asking you to do that. We're just asking you to let other people be them. And so it was kind of like, that was the kind of thing that there's so many things that so many people had so many, like the rigidity around, that there's a lot of stuff that's hitting them at once.
Yeah.
And trying to get them to, and so I was kind of doing some soothing, like it's going to be okay. And no one's asking you to do this. We're asking you to be yourself, but to let other people be who they are. And that part of it, that maybe some people in their thinking is too rigid. And so that's why things feel really fast to them when it's not really fast to some of us. But just kind of like noticing that and kind of like holding the space for that fear and letting them know that it's going to be okay. kind of like in that web. Because there's a lot of stuff that people are being asked to think of differently or to try to think of differently. And if it's completely outside of like their thought process or their comfort zone, I can see why they would want to retract.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But other than that, nothing happened.
Well, it sounds pretty spectacularly amazing. What came up, particularly what struck me was the counterclockwise, clockwise thing, and in the Flower of Life, there is a rotational aspect to it because it's the Taurus field. That is part and parcel of it. And so I was wondering, I was reading today that crystals can be male, female, or they can be both.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting because I don't really think of that, but I kind of noticed that today. So I'm curious, what part of that really springs to your attention?
I think it was just the way that the rotation had started moving, that it had started moving to the east, and then just how rapidly it spread out to hit to the poles, and then started doing the wraparound. So it was like the length came first to cover, like from the globe from top to bottom, and then it started moving around.
Right. Wow. So that definitely like a Taurus. Yeah. So length and then round. Wow. Wow. And is there a relationship between the length across and the length around?
It felt like it took a little bit more energy to get it from pole to pole and keep it from pole to pole, and then just make sure that it kind of like unfurled or just kept growing.
And yeah, so there's a kind of a okay, so and yeah. So when you are there, are you called to do anything particular, a symbol or something that came up for you for doing some weaving with?
Actually, one of the things that that came up, and I've been working on it. Let's see if I can close this a little bit so I don't have as much light hitting.
Oh.
So this is a chalice on the inside, and then these were just some little branches with some like little buds, and like little laurel leaves came to mind. And this is supposed to be like a rose. And roses are incredibly beautiful, and they can smell really good. And I think a lot of us at one point or another have been caught by not approaching things the right way and got stuck with a thorn.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it's beautiful and it's there for you to take, but sometimes you do have to use some caution in how you're gonna like wind up doing things. So that was kind of what was coming to mind when I was doing it. It's just be careful how you handle it.
Oh. And it's interesting that the rose is on top of your chalice.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's a rosé wine. I don't know.
Yes, we can make roses out of bad things. Things can smell of roses. And Sarah?
Yeah.
Anything else, or are you done there, Kelly?
I'm done, thank you.
Okay. Sarah, did anything come up for you?
No, sadly, no. I couldn't. I had a cat to contend with who was begging for dinner, so I had to walk away for a little bit.
Oh.
So sorry, guys. First time.
Okay, that's fine.
That's
But
absolutely.
while we've been talking, did anything come up for you at all?
Ye- when I first joined the call, I don't know, I felt home. I've had so many group of female friends, and you know, we have similar interests, but the first word that came to my head when I started listening to you ladies was goddesses.
That was a very nice thing. Yes, everyone here is a
like
goddess.
magical, you know, magical women. And it's I've been into magic my whole life because I grew up with shamans in the rainforest of Peru, so I'm quite
Wow.
yeah, and I've been part of rituals when I was a child, so I know that magic does exist, and it's just women don't honor that, and I think what you guys are doing is just it's humbling and amazing, and yeah, I feel at home with you. You like goddesses, you know,
Oh,
like magic.
You
well, it
So,
takes one to resonate with others, doesn't it?
exactly.
yes, absolutely, Erica. So yeah, even my cat's a goddess. She's a
She certainly is.
so yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing in your magic as well and your cat.
Silly cat.
Does the cat has got something to share with us?
Cat? It's funny because at the beginning of the year, I was in the rainforest in Peru in December last year. We stayed in this lodge in the middle of nowhere, and you can really feel the spirits there. And I'm pretty sure I picked up something. So during January, I was having a lot of disturbed sleep, and cats are supposed to protect you, but she did nothing. She just snored next to me. But one particular night, I couldn't sleep, and I was talking to what was I doing? No, I think I went to sleep, and she snuggled up to me, and all of a sudden, it was all dark. I was falling asleep. She jumped out of the bed, like dashed to the door frame, and she just stood there staring at something without moving. It's almost as if she's in a spirit. First time in her 5 years. I was impressed. She still didn't protect me though. But yeah. But I find a good way of dispelling spirits is just sage doesn't work for me for some reason. There might be some horrible evil spirits. Tingsha bells, the Buddhist bells.
Mhm.
They're very good at dispelling bad spirits, and that's how I got rid of them because the cat wouldn't help me. So yeah, it's not very magical, unfortunately. She just looks pretty.
Well, we had from Severin the silence, and maybe from
She's
this
got
silence it also speaks a lot of wisdom. That just came to me. Sometimes doing nothing, it's already the right answer.
Yeah.
Could I add something about that?
Yes, please.
You may.
Oh, thank you. I totally I hope that blessing comes upon here after tonight or whenever the verdict, comes in, the winner is announced, that we take before anyone acts, or lashes out irrationally, that there's a moment of silence that people take and connect with their hearts first instead
Yeah.
of anger, or fear, or, some nice, beautiful, radical acceptance and then some hot space first. So I love that silence. I'm gonna take that in, no matter who wins. I think a moment of silence for everybody in the US would be really good, just to take in what we're processing and experiencing. So I totally receive that as a recommendation of some wisdom, just like you said, Erica. There's some wisdom in that to be had. So I love that message coming out. rest to nest, deep within and without. The earth is recreating by itself. That is so powerful.
Yeah, thank you, Severine, what you wrote about that. Rest, requiring the rest to nest. Yes, that's, yeah, I feel that is so powerful. Yeah.
That's what I heard. I'm hearing things, I'm I don't know, maybe I'm crazy.
No, you're perfectly sane. You're probably more sane than those that are in government.
That was interesting that when there's no, when the tapestry of your inner universe seems blank or transparent, which was what was going on in silence. There was no, because I can have visions or symbols, and that time it was different. It's like we cannot foresee what it is about to happen, kind of. And so you're not blind, but you cannot guess in advance or say, okay, I decide I'm going to go there. No, you have to just listen each second. Every 10 seconds, you're doing a new choice. And little by little, something is appearing. So I don't know what I'm embroidering right now, but I know I can embroider.
Yeah, there's so much wisdom there. Thank you. That's the message I also received from the cat. I mean, they just follow their instinct. If she doesn't have to warn you and do nothing, then this is so great, isn't it? She's just reflecting this silence and peace.
Maybe that is protection in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's creating the void where all things can be in potential and all new shift can change.
Yes. What about you, Shireen? What did you experience, or did you experience anything?
Well, I got beautiful. I really started to kind of visualize, and I saw I got a huge, big lotus flower in my womb, which was really nice. And I kind of saw it expanding in the flower of life, where there was these connections, it's like, strawberry plant. Only this was a lotus plant that was it had sort of like its extra bits of, strawberry plants they plant and they grow by by growing an extra shoot. So this is what I was seeing, extra shoots of flowers growing all along the flower of light. And seeing that as a way of visualizing how things need to be. And there was something that came up for me, which was really, I suppose it's also feeding into this divine masculine. And what really is resonating for me is a little bit about what Kelly was saying, which is that, we can only heal the divine masculine by healing the divine feminine first. And I was also then aware of something that then Jennifer then said something about the idea that women themselves don't necessarily support themselves in a way that's helpful. And I kind of thought, well, we have to be really careful not to go too much into our masculine. And we need to find our divine masculine, not the ego-centered masculine that is there, because it's very easy to go into that world. And very easy, so there's something about how do we embrace that bit where actually the divine masculine can really grow within us, is what I was kind of thinking about. How do we use that and make that the divine masculine as powerful for us inside as what we need to help men to become. But until we can do that, until we're able to ask for the things we need in the same way and be able to do all the things that they can do in a gentle and loving way, we're going to lose ourselves. So the flower of life is going through saying we need to think about how we spread our flower. How do we spread it? So as we spread and nurture, we're nurturing it from the fact that we are together. We are as a symbiote. We're one. And that was what came up for me.
Is there anything in particular that you want to embroider? Like what is weaving to you?
Yeah, what started to come is that I've started my, I mean, this is the back of my doll, because Kelly, you'll be noticed my doll, my first doll that I did. Do you recognize it? Looks a little like your Rose.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's the thing. So I'm going to embroider a sun actually on the back of it, and I'm going to again I'm going to end up putting, because it feels like it needs to have the Elgaz on it. So it feels like it needs to be, now instead of an open, I'm going to have it that it's full, so it's like a sphere. So I get the desire to do a sphere with all the bits on the outside. So that's what's coming up for me. In fact, I'm seeing it as the back of the star a little bit.
What kind of sphere is this sphere?
Sphere, you know, a sphere. A globe. Yeah, a sphere.
A globe. Ball. A globe?
Yeah, like a globe. Like a ball. Yeah, like a sphere. Yeah, yeah. So it feels like something that's going to rotate and spin. And it has a centrifugal force that can hold things in, and it can also allow things to expand out. So it has this ability to go in and out, very much like the ultimate physical atom. So I think that's what's coming up for me. Mm.
And it goes on the back of your Matrushka.
It's going on the back because the sun is, you know, when you walk and the sun is on your back, and you feel as though you're being held.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like Matrushka, this is how she's going to feel. She's going to carry, well, she's not going to carry, but he's going to kind of carry her forward. Yeah, it's like he's lifting her. So that's the masculine part at the back of my Matrushka. Feels like it needs to be there.
Mm. Beautiful.
And did you get anything?
Yeah, I was thinking about this image which I posted. Yeah, it was last Saturday when there was blue moon. I posted this one picture in our group, Weaving with Women group, of the baby who's being born in the cosmos.
Oh yes, yes.
And the baby lies like in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole stars around the baby. And after it came like sometime like from a few of you today, like the birth of the eternal sun, divide the masculine, I feel like what so many people thinking about this return of the Christ consciousness of the new coming. I feel that's what we were doing earlier when we were weaving the light from our highest self, which is the Christ consciousness. Is this golden light? From this sphere, we are all like this Christ. And I think this is the responsibility of all of us who come together to weave the new earth, to birth us into this new consciousness. Yeah, and from this new baby, I think from this point, I don't even feel it's masculine or feminine. Feminine is like this pure light.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like when I perceive this Christ consciousness, it's no longer for me also masculine. Like this is just made up pictures like Jesus and he's male and everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
From this cosmic birth, there is only this oneness and the pure consciousness of light. And I think it's like this seed in the meditation, when we birth our highest light, and if we all do that, then it's really like below on Earth and in the stars and the cosmos, it's all interconnected. And quantum science already is proving, if you like come from one particle of highest consciousness, it can spread like fire, like, and you can really, it's already proven that you can contact a person on the other side of the world and they can feel it if you are sensitive and also connected to this in a meditative state. And I mean, that's how powerful we are, and it just travels, the light travels. There's no distance and no time. And I think this is what is happening on human Earth. If we are all being birthed like that, that's how we literally create a new world. And it can happen very quickly. And that's why I think it's powerful. Even like we gathered here together, if we really shine it into the grid, it's doing its magic. So I'm seeing this baby and this new birth in this
Cosmic birth.
in the womb. So my next Matryoshka is going to birth this new baby.
Sounds very good.
Yeah.
And is there anything else?
Yeah, there are all the stars around, many different stars around me. And what Jennifer said earlier with the crown, I've been seeing already the last time when we met this queen from Mongolia. I'm wearing like a queen's dress with a Mongolian costume when I visited Mongolia in 2017. And the queens used to wear like the hair up like a tower, and really goes very high up, like 2 meters. And there's an eye in it, or at least I perceive it as an eye. I don't know whether it is one like not. For me, this is an eye. And speaking of the baby being born in an eye, in an egg, this is a German word for an egg.
An eye, yeah.
And the eye is the all-seeing oracle. And I was like seeing a lot recently the oracle in Samarkand, which is a very, very old city in Uzbekistan. And it is said that there is like the oldest oracle in the world.
Ooh.
And when shamans travel and do lucid dreamings, doing their shamanic journeys, which I do a lot, most recently I've been always going to this oracle in Samarkand. And there is this connection to this all-seeing eye in this queen's hair crown, and this egg of the baby being born, and the oracle in Samarkand. And this is how it's all coming together in this unity. Because the oracle, what does an oracle do? It's also like looking in this void. We look and we see everything at once. So all those things coming together for me at the moment.
Yeah. So they're all coming together in one.
Yeah.
And then, is there anything else about that? As they all come together as one.
Yes, like at the beginning, I did anointing, like the eye and the throat and the heart and the womb. And it's like it connects it all together. Yeah. It's like weaving all those different portals together in one. And in a way, when I find an expression in my Matryoshka, that's how we work. The Matryoshka has got those different layers, and this is how we can combine all those symbols. Like I'm already looking forward to do this head crown and the eye and the baby in the womb. And when I'm doing this, when I start to embroider, then the more clarity and the more signs are gonna come.
Gosh, amazing, amazing things that everybody has come up with. And it really does amaze me of just how wonderful when we started off with the cards, and what seems to be just coming in is this absolute synchronicity that seems to be constantly coming in as a state. Yeah. And I wonder, I know that Uja, you would have been listening. Did something come up for you as you were listening? Just a short one, but yeah, we don't want to exclude you.
No, I don't feel excluded at all. No. I feel a lot of silence at the moment. And you talk about the baby. I have seen it in the Facebook, the Matroska, the rebirth thing, Erika.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, yeah, I also had a big full moon happening with my friend. She's in Portugal singing, but it was connected with Amsterdam and whatever people, and you know that. But that was also all about the light. And you talk about the interconnection. We can do it together, but it is already happening together. That's how I feel it at the moment. And when you say something about silence, I felt, oh, why am I here in this Zoom right now? Because it really made me quiet and at ease with myself, where you were talking about. Anyway, nice to say this. Now it's good to see and feel the synchronicity, but maybe it's a little bit in my sensations beyond the words, the synchronicity, because we are interconnected in the same things. Also, when the girl talks about the cat, where is she?
Sarah.
Sarah, yeah. Are you living in Peru or
in London?
Oh yeah, because you talk about the cat, and the cat of my daughter died the end of the summer. But before she was talking with the cat, you know, because I felt the cat is at the end of living. He has given a lot of wisdom and support. But of course, he didn't want to let it go. And then I sit with her in a kind of meditation that she could talk to the cat. And I found it really strange that the cat gives answers, you know? And then after, it was as if the cat was participating on the outcome of that conversation. Then in like 2-3 weeks, she could let it go. Anyway, just that I thought about a cat is really a spiritual teacher in a way. Yeah, but I think it has nothing so much to do with the meditation. But as I understand, she was also not totally in the meditation because the cat wants to eat.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had a connection with that cat because the moment that my daughter was going to the vet, when the cat could eat or didn't you open the eating, let it go out. The moment, and you said, yeah, the cat wanted to eat, and I said, oh yeah, that was the moment the cat had to leave because he didn't eat. So I find the good feel that she made the right decision, something like that. If it is a choice about life and death. But anyway, shamanist. Yeah, and also, well, I don't want to go in a little bit of floods of minds, but when she talk about the shaman and you talk about Mongolia, I was singing for 4 hours. That was also on internet with Amor, singing Amor, but that were people in Ecuador, shamane, and they did a ritual with herbs and blah blah blah, and it was all the time singing. It was so going into the light. So we were talking about it, but sometimes you have moments that you really experience it. I mean, you talk about with the tower, you know,
Mhm.
it's nice to hear it, but I think when you are there, it's a big experience that it breaks your heart open, something like that. That's what I feel when you talk about it. That there must have been a shift happening there for you. And then I'm more curious. Oh, what shift did happen there?
Mm.
Because when shaman are singing, there is something as if all the channels opens, and that's the experience. And then I can tell about, yeah, there were shamans singing together, and this was very nice with flowers and blah blah blah. But in that moment, there is as if all the channels opens, like like a journey, a
Mm.
travel in your system. Nou ja. So I'm curious, what happened when you see this queen, or was it a queen you say with a big?
It's a queen, yes.
Yeah, but you met the queen alive or like a statue?
No, I was wearing the clothes like a queen, like a Mongolian queen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And with the eye, it's yeah, because when I met a shaman in Mongolia and I looked in her eyes, this is for the first time I came home. It was also like I've seen the whole universe, like this oracle. If you look
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
oracle, you see everything. The whole universe
yeah,
is like
yeah,
in this little dot of the eyes, like
yeah,
everything
yeah,
there.
yeah,
And
yeah,
this has got something to do with it. And yeah.
yeah, yeah. I can
Mhm.
understand because I was also with gurus and big wise masters who bring kind of recognition of self. And I feel that that was your experience by having this. Was that a ceremony or something? You talk about a ceremony, or you just wearing the clothes
I
and
visited
imagine?
the museum of Genghis Khan,
Oh, okay.
and there I met a very fascinating author who was writing and doing the illustrations for his book about Genghis Khan.
Oh,
I felt like I wanted to wear these clothes. and
oh, okay.
and it was very interesting because this Mongolian author, I'm still in contact with him, but he looked at me and he said, like, I'm sure you have been before like a Mongolian queen or Kazakh queen.
Oh,
And the
okay.
interesting thing is, this other woman where I learned the sacred embroidery, she's from Kazakh origin, but lives in Mongolia. There's a Kazakh tribe.
Oh,
And there I had this
okay.
very similar experience. Like I've been spending time there for 1 week
Oh,
and like embroidering with this old woman. Yeah, she's an embroidery
oh.
master. And there similarly, there was like a little
Yeah.
girl, and she also said, "You came home." And then there was
Oh,
another shaman I met, and she also said, "Finally, you came home." And it came like
yeah.
as many times. It happened on my travels. Like, yeah. So
And what does that mean then for you that you came home? What does that mean, Hel?
That these are
Because you come
my
home,
roots.
that means,
This is
yeah,
those are my roots. I didn't know where
yeah,
my roots were like most of my life, but when I'm there in this ancestral backgrounds,
yeah,
especially from the Kazakh side, this is
yeah,
where I'm home. That's where I was born.
yeah.
This
The
is my
first 9
ancestry.
years.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
those are my
Oh,
ancestors, and I don't have to talk because when they look at me,
yeah.
they feel that I'm at home. And I needed to hear that.
Oh,
I needed to
yeah,
hear that to feel it as well. This is my home, and my why I'm
good.
alive is to bring those ancestral threads, but also weave them into the new. Because I'm living here
Yes,
in the West, so it's
yes.
about reweaving those different threads. And
Together as one.
yeah,
Because in the essence, we are all one, actually. You bring it together. Yeah,
in the essence, we are all one. But if they are
yeah,
disconnected in the outside, we have to reweave them back into oneness.
yeah, yeah, true. Yeah. You know that my friend, you saw him on the recording last week.
Yes.
He was also 20, maybe 25 years ago in Mongolia with a big bus with people doing theater there.
Oh,
I didn't
interesting.
talk about Mongolia, but now you say Mongolia, and he have really pictures in the you know this kind of yurts, you know tent yurt. Is
Yurt.
it yurt? The tent?
Yurt.
The tent.
Yurt.
Yeah, yurt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So it's a very special, wise uh, uh, folk people there,
Yes.
and but they are also shaman, isn't it?
Well, there are lots of them.
Yeah,
Lots of shamans. Shamans are
yeah,
people who are still very in contact with their intuitive
yes,
sides and with nature
yeah, yeah.
and
I
everything.
know, I
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
And there are loads there because there are still nomads. And people
yeah,
who are nomads are still very, very connected with nature and everything around.
yeah, yeah. I'm every year on a festival, and we work in a big yurt together. We do
Mm.
big ceremonies there, and yeah, I don't know if the masters will come in the yurt or in this area. They're not from Mongolia and also not from Peru. I think they're from Brazil. So the shaman are everywhere. I
Yes.
also put it on Facebook, these 6 lessons of the shamanen in these times of Corona going to the transformation. They have a lot of interviews with a lot of shamanen there.
Mm-hmm.
And also science, you know, university people. And then they combine all these shamanen and university professors, and they bring a lot of information. But I don't like so much movies about with information, because in that movie they have a lot of interviews, and what touched the most is the real shaman, like the Indianen. You know, you have the Americans and you have the Indians, the original, or you have the Aboriginals and the Australians. So you have also the real shamanen and the ones who got to know it by reading books, and you know, and but they are all in that interview, and it gives a big picture what's actually going on in the world about the knowing that it is all in us. It's actually in all of us.
Okay, Uriah, maybe you
So
can
maybe you
post it.
recognize.
Maybe you can post it in our group.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at the
Yeah,
time
maybe.
again.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
10 to 11, so we are already coming to a close.
Yeah, okay. Good to talk.
And I personally,
Good to be silent again.
you're, everybody's still
Oh.
frozen for me, but luckily I can still hear people. Shirin, what do you think about closing with one of our main questions? What is our deepest desire for the world or humanity at this time? And maybe like in a very short sentence.
Maybe if they just get a moment to feel into the questions. So if we just ask those questions, maybe they can just take a moment to think about them. So if they
I
just,
already have an answer. I don't want to sing.
okay, well, we're just going to do that, Uja. So just
Yeah, but I already have an answer.
okay, but let the
Because-
others have a chance.
Oh,
Just hold on a
what?
minute. We'll get there.
Oh, not the heavy singing. No.
All right. So just everybody, just take a moment and just think about what is your deepest desire for the world? What is it that you really, really, really desire for the world? And as you do that, maybe get a sense of what is the symbol, maybe that comes up for you of what that would be. So how would you see that? And what would it be like if that was manifested in 10 years' time? How do you see that? And if we draw it a little closer and halfway towards that, what would it be like in 5 years' time? What would be the halfway point? Just let your gut talk to you. And what would be the deepest desire for the immediacy, the immediate now? That would be the first step or the first stitch towards weaving the new world. And then have a look at, very briefly, what would be your deepest desire for your country? All countries are unique, but what would be the deepest desire for your own place where you live right now? Or whatever country you feel really truly affiliated to? And just allow a symbol maybe to come up. That could be something that you could weave. And what would that deepest desire for your country for 10 years? What do you see it in the long way? What is your dream for the long? What is it for 5? So halfway. What would be the halfway step? What would you be seeing happening? And then what would be the first stitch that you could contribute towards that? If we believe we're all connected, how might that influence? What would be that stitch? And then the last one, just what is your greatest desire, your deepest desire for humanity? What do you see, given what you know and what you hope for 10 years' time with the belief of possibility? What would be the halfway point? And what would be the first stitch that you make towards that? And maybe just let us know when you've all got one. You can maybe just put your hand up just to let me know that you have got them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. So maybe if it's okay, Erica, that I just go down everybody, and or you want to ask it? Just a very short sentence.
Yeah, like
What might-
just keep it short.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you feel
Okay.
some people like maybe just write it down somewhere or in the chat to really make it alive, because once we write it down, it also strengthens
alive.
our symbol, our intention.
Now I have two words, that is transformation and receptivity. We have to be ready for transformation from the darkness to the light. And instead of fear, being receptive for the change to happen. That is the sentence. And I wrote it down today. That's why I said I have it already, because somehow I needed to write it down today.
Okay.
And then you start to do this exercise. But before I said, yeah, I don't need to think about it because I know it already. That's my intention is to support also in the transformation to happen. And instead of fear, because I see still a lot of fear is happening in the world, especially when you work and you are in the world, in the interactive world, but still want to go on in the old world, what is not existing anymore. There is a lot of fear in people. So, and then to let happen, your own receptivity and your own trust that the darkness is the light. And to make it not too bright, but when you are in a dark room where there is no light, you put a candle and then there is light. So I will put a candle, and now that refers to the goddess. You remember? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So it was transformation and what?
Receptivity.
And receptivity.
Receiving.
Be open to
Open to
change
receive.
and receive.
And
Yeah.
open for change to happen instead of following the fears, supporting people. It's like a care. It's like caregiving.
Sure.
I hope we manage this.
Caregiving.
Yeah, to remind.
The words that have been coming up for me were community and love, and also self-awareness. I feel a lot of hate and hurt in the world towards each other. So what kept on coming up to me was my desire for the world is for people to know themselves and to realize that we're all one, that we shouldn't have. And the word community kept on coming to my head. I would like for the world to live
as in a community. Sorry, my cat keeps on batting my computer.
Well, the cat wants to be in community too.
Oh,
Nice.
beautiful.
And for
Oh,
everyone to
yeah.
support each other and help each other. This world will end, and it's never going to be the same. And I think it's going to be all about the community and coming together and being more spiritual.
Yeah.
And I keep on seeing as a symbol a golden cloak that is made of,
Golden cloak. Wow. Okay.
covers each one of us on our backs. And
Cloak?
And for my country, I want the same, to people to commune with each other and to help each other and just, yeah.
Beautiful.
No.
Community
What's
and
a cloak? What is a cloak?
Something you put on you, Uja.
like that.
You
Oh,
wear it like a coat, but it's a loose thing. Yeah. It's a cloak. We wear it at winter time. Kelly?
Yeah, what kept coming up for me was the infinity symbol on its side. And because there's kind of like, it's kind of like it's active and passive, but at the same time, it's also kind of like active and all passive. And and just the word that actually came to mind though was reciprocity. And people speaking, but people being heard. And kind of like this was carrying through multiple levels, just that at an individual level, and that at a community level, and a state level, and a country level, and with us individually in the world, and just like these different connections all over, and just really kind of holding for the people who have forgotten why they came here, and for those that think that, you know, they weren't going to work, that they were just going to like take this round off on the earth. And it's like, no, we're all supposed to be here doing something. And if you're here, that's mean you were called and you came, and you know, congratulations, you won. So now you get to help. And just that, noticing the resistance again, but just with the reciprocity, the back and forth. So it's not all one person or another, but it's more of everyone together, and the reciprocity and the back and forth.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. And the idea is, you know, reciprocity is so important, because if you don't get it, you don't feel valued. And it's really about this knowing that you are valuable, you are valued.
And you're contributing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, you're doing purpose. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful.
Oh, I'm not muted. Jennifer?
I just realized I wasn't muted. I'm sorry.
No problem. No worries.
So mine started off again as like the crown is the eye, and then the eye got really big, and then it went black and into nothing, and there was just sound. And the thing was, like, you know, no non-attachment, like don't attach yourself to anything, but just accept. And then the other thing that came in, it was like death, but no death, and extinguished duality, that we really got to get into like this 3-dimensional place of being, like stop with black, white, male, female, masculine, feminine, love, hate, that in that place of nothing and everything, that death and no death, it's like empty, but filled at the same time, very complete, that we, in order, and like that's what like I can feel it in every cell of my body. It's like my body knows this. My body knows this. All I can say is my body knows this. But living, I'm taught different. So something else is within. It's like there's like a third, you know, dimension, not as we know it, is like third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, like that. Like this is just a dimension of nothing. Like for us to get out of this trap that we're in, it's just an extinguishing duality. For my country, it's like it brings me to tears, really. Like it's very karmic, you know, the energy of this land, you know, and I am part Native American, so it does hit me a little different. That it's just like it's looping back around. So it's like a reconciliation of energy. So I just hope, you know, everybody is watching us right now. Everybody. So for us to really like be in that 3D moment of beyond violence, beyond tantruming or fortune telling, doom and glooming, you know, just it's, I love the theme of silence keep coming up, of that place, like of that nothingness of in everything at every time, just to be quiet and like feel your heart beating, because everybody else all around the world is beating too. You know, other countries are affected by who's in our office. And I just think if we all come together as one big heart, whether we're sleeping or awake, one man in office should not affect the world this way. It shouldn't. So whatever it is that we got to do to return to our own place of existence and love, and be that 3D person. I hope that my country does that. Anyway, don't mean to be so emotional.
No, we knew it.
All welcome here. All welcome here.
That's why we did it today, because we really do feel for everyone over there. Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful words. Thank you, what you were sharing.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very deep.
Thank
Very
you.
deep. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and Severin, she wrote something. Do you want to say something as well, Severin? Or should I read that out?
Well, for me, the most challenging part was what are my deepest desire for humanity? For the world, it was easy. For the country, my country, it was kind of easy, even though it's not cognitive. So what I'm getting is just, I'm telling it. So why balance? Why? I don't know. It's just what's coming up. The humanity one is not clear though. What is my deepest desire for humanity? It's like I have to go through the pile of shit before reaching the fact of what do I desire. Are like powerless facing that, because my desire, my wishes they are like a drop, and they are not enough. It's that if there is just my wishes, it's not enough. It's like the other wishes plus mine will create, but mine alone is like. So I was just, oh, it's interesting. What else is possible?
That is, wow, wow. And I'm guessing that that's how a lot of people feel when they are going through the turmoil times like where we are right now, where they think they don't need to vote, or they feel they can't make a difference. And the thing is, the problem is we can't see our difference in the collective. We can't see it from our perspective of where we are, but on a bigger field, we make a powerful difference in the collective. So I think and I think we just underestimate our energy within that collective, where it'll push it and where it won't. So even if we think that just one person can't make a difference, in actual fact, we can. But I think so many of us we underestimate that because we just see the vastness. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's as if a country is like an entity by itself, and humanity is billions of entities, so it was wow. It's not my country, it's just 70 millions of people. So it's as if I could handle it, I can, okay. Yeah. But 7 billions of people, or I don't know how many, I'm just, oh no. Too much work. I'm gonna let God taking care of that. If there is something that can, so it's like being empowered and in our power.
Yeah, to be empowered and be in our power. Yeah.
And Shireen, when I mailed my ballot, I held my ballot in my hands before I sent it. And I told my ballot it was going to be there safe. It was going to get there safely. And it was necessary and needed. And this was going to be the one that made the difference. And I put it in the bin.
And I know it sounds really crazy, but one person, did make a huge, big difference, like Buddha. Yeah. One person made a movement, and that's exactly, in a way, everybody that we've kind of known in any fame was one person to start. So it's always that. But it's lovely to hear, because at the same time, it's recognizing the enormity of what we have to bring in that process. So I know you went somewhere in that space and think, oh my God, 70 billion people or whatever. But actually, I think the thing is, we are not alone. We aren't. There are many people that are connecting to them to make it stronger. They can stronger and make us be able. And Erica?
I dropped out there for a minute.
You did? So you're back. Are you seeing us now and not frozen?
Yeah, I can see you. But you're still frozen. Like, very slow. I can hear you, but
Together, better world. Yeah. Unfrozen. You hear that? Together we make a better world. Unfrozen. Where are you? Bring the humor.
So did anything come up for you, Erica?
Where are you? Not see you.
Can you not see me?
No, yeah, I try to see.
What about the others? Can you not see me? Can you hear me?
No, we can see you. We can hear you.
Oh yeah, now I see you. Sorry.
So good.
Okay.
I think we can all see you guys.
Oh no, because now the chat disappeared. I've been writing down all your beautiful responses.
It's okay, I can save it. Yeah. Let me just save it so long.
Yes, please save it so we get this beautiful responses, like seeds and like ripples into the world. Yeah, for me, I was still I'm bringing in this baby which is birthed the whole world. And like we started in our meditation, from one seed, from one baby, we can birth the whole earth, because we all have got this within us as well. And it's like the whole flower of life. It all starts from one seed, and it spreads instantly. So I bring in this new baby which is birthing the new earth.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How you say that? Short and simple. Thank you.
Yeah.
What about you, Shireen?
Yeah, and yeah, I basically see that, you know, really we just need to coat the earth in a beautiful cloak, a nice golden cloak. Like who is it that came up with the golden cloak? But the golden cloak, because that is the web, the grid, and that's what I saw, and that's what I feel is what we've got to do. Is we've got to see the beauty and appreciate the beauty within each and every one of us, and that's the flower. And the sun, which is part of the cloak, feeds us. So we receive from the earth the water, and we have the heat from the sun. Perfect components for living. And I think if, you know, that's what I want for humanity, is that we recognize that we're all connected, that actually, you know, we're here as, we can't just check out, we're here. And so we take some accountability for that. So for humanity, that's what I always used to say, what I wanted people to always remember, that they are from the star, that they are stardust. They are something that they don't know yet who they are, in a sense. So yeah, that's what for humanity, I want them to see their own power. Yeah.
Awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also to know, you know, there's this grid, and this grid is here, and it protects us. And so we by opening ourselves up, we receive the protection that we need. So whether it's protection from the sense of our mother, father, God, or is it, and protection from each other, which is part of the grid. So we don't fall through, we get caught, we get held.
Mm.
Oh,
And I like to finish it with this beautiful quote, which I think is so fitting, that we can, only also a few people can make a difference. It's by Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has.
Yeah.
never done.
Thank you.
Yeah. That is so interesting for me, that to see like frozen screens.
Normally it's me, but it's not today.
Yeah, I think this is the perfect timing to close the circle. All those
Never doubt.
beautiful intentions and sharings.
Could I share one thing that I have to show? Shireen, you talked about this. I bought this summer. It's a flower of life sphere. It's a water bottle. Water of life. Water. Well, not water of life, but the flower of life. And in the United States also, there's a kombucha that had that this year. So I think you're on to something very, very, I think you're connected to something very special, because that seems to be the thing that is like really coming up really big. So I wanted to show you that, because I had that, and then you said, when you said flower of life, and then we were all doing the sphere, I was like, I gotta go get it and show her, because
Oh, yeah.
that's you.
Yeah. Can I ask
Yes,
a last question about the mermaid? Who posted the mermaid?
Oh, Jennifer.
Oh, that was also you. Oh, yeah. Okay. You see the comment. I comment on it, but you read it maybe later. We were interconnected and in synchronity. If the mermaid is in your house, it was in my travel. Yeah. Then we recognize she's also a goddess, the mermaid.
Yes,
And this bowl, what you showed right now, it felt like a fortune. You know, these musicians, they look in the glass bowl, and they know, like, yeah, the crystal ball, yes.
Yeah.
And they really feel like, oh, it's a good future.
A fortune.
For fortune. Yeah.
Exactly.
Erika, where are you? I don't see you.
I'm still here.
Thank you.
Yes. I would also like to thank you
Okay, well,
Where
And
is
send-
everyone?
and said,
Oh yeah, there are you. And the hearts. Don't forget the heart.
and give everybody a hug, the world and ourselves, and sending everyone big heart.
yeah, we can have the shower of love too.
Yeah, it was so nice that it was a spontaneously meet up today.
Yeah.
I hope we will continue.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you always say we start the trailing, but maybe this is the trailing.
Oh.
Could be.
Yeah, existence wanted like this.
Hi, Kelly.
Bye. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Good to meet the new
Bye-bye.
people.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for coming.
I see many faces now. How to go out now?
You press the leave the meeting.
Yeah, I
button.
tried to find it. But it's not- Oh yeah, okay. Ciao. Till
Bye.
next time.
Until next time.
Whenever. Yeah, okay. Ciao. Leave it.